Hello, this is Train for Print. My name is Marcus Cruz. Welcome to the third part of my treasure chest tutorial series, where we in Blender learn to 3D model for 3D printing. This is where we left off. It's beginning to look like a chest. I have also printed it, as you can see on this photo. It's printed on FDM, so it's quite rough, but it might be what you need if you just need something quick. So we have this chest object here, and today we will learn about making our workflow more effective by using the mirror modifier. So before I had to do lots of operations 4 times because the chest has 4 corners. So if I did something here, I also had to do it here, here, and on the opposite side. We will today learn how to use the mirror modifier so that these changes are automatically mirrored to all the other sides. First of all, let's go into edit mode. We'll select our object and press tab. And to mirror an object, we first have to cut it. We have the loop cut tool for that. Control R. And we see a yellow line indicating a preview of the cut. And it cuts the quads I hover over exactly down the middle. This is the cut I want to make here. And then I can just left click. And now if I move my mouse, I can change where the actual cut is made. But if I don't want to change it, if I want it in the middle, I can right click now. So first left click and then right click. Now our object is cut exactly in half. So let's delete 1/2 of it. We go to top view, wireframe mode, and drag a box around these vertices. And now to delete them, I press X and select vertices. Now I have this half chest here, but let's go one step further and cut it again along the X-axis. So Control R to start the loop cut tool. And remember, the loop cut tool will only cut quads. A quad is a polygon with 4 sides, and this big one here is not a quad. It won't cut that. So first left click and then right click. There are many instances where you actually want to move the cut, but this is not such occasion. So I have to do the loop cut tool again. Control R, left click, right click. Now I've cut it all along here, but I still want to cut this in half too. And then I can use the knife tool. The knife tool can be found in the mesh menu, knife topology tool, but we can also press the key K. K for knife. And you see we have a little green rectangle indicating where the cut will be made. I can click anywhere, but if I move close to a vertex, the green rectangle that also has a red outline now snaps to that vertex. Hovering over the correct vertex, I left click and I can drag to the next vertex, cutting this polygon in 2, and I left click again, and to finalize this cut I press L. Now the chest is cut all the way along the x-axis. So let's once again go in the top view, drag around here in wireframe mode, press X and delete vertices. Now we have exactly a quarter of a chest, and it's time to add the mirror modifier. Here under the wrench we see the modifier properties, and right now this is empty. We only have these add modifiers, but there are no modifiers here. So I click add and I select the mirror modifier. Oh, and it appears. Right now it's mirroring along the x-axis, but we also want to mirror it on the y-axis. Looking good. Now if I go into edit mode and edit the mesh, it's affected in all four corners, even the one up here. Let's not do that. So one thing that's been nagging me for some time is the slight bad geometry here. So let's fix that. We go into edit mode and we select the faces here and we delete them. X faces. We can, with the edge selection mode, select these two and we can press E to extrude, and we can try to get it close there. And another tool we can use if we select these is the F tool. Think of fill. So we have these three selected and we press F for fill, and we have created a new face here. So let's do that again. Now we have to select these 4 edges, F. Now this reinforcement here have a curvature that it didn't have before, and it doesn't look strange around here anymore. That's very good. But we have a hole here and we have a hole there as well. So it's time to affect how this modifier works. And then we press the clipping checkbox here. The clipping checkbox is very good when we want something to go exactly on the mirror's edge. So I've selected these 2 edges here. I press GX and it won't move past the mirror's edge. Let's select this edge here, GX. Good. Now there's no more holes. In object mode there's nothing we can see here that hints that there's an edge cut here. In fact, it looks quite good, but to be certain, let's go into top view and go to wireframe mode. Remember, Z key, wireframe mode, and I actually spot something funny here. So let's go into edit mode, vertex selection mode, and check that. Just GY, move it up to the mirror's edge. Now, if I export this, it will be exactly as when we started. Save this fix we did here for the curvature of the reinforcement. So let's do some improvements. I'm thinking we should do some planks for this for the wooden part. Wood planks. So I go into edge mode, and I happen to know that 6 edges are fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shift click to select. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I can move these about, and they're mirrored all around. Perfect. Let's use shrink fatten. Alt S. And we want to move it minus 0.5. Half a millimeter inwards. Good. But this here looks a bit strange. Let's inspect it in top view. Yeah, that's no good. Because we have clipping on, I can just do like this, GX, and so let's also do some planks here, and I think I want the one plank stretching over the middle, and one plank here, and one plank here, something like that. So now we will do the loop cut again. We could just Ctrl R and then slide it like that, but then we're not sure that it's in the exact same space, and it might not matter, but I want to show you. I Ctrl R for loop cut, and then I scroll my mouse wheel up. If we want 5 planks, we want to do 4 cuts here. I will show you how that works. So exactly as before, but now instead of 1 line we have 4 lines. Left click, I can move the cut, but I don't want to, so I right click using the default placement exactly in the middle. And now I want to remove this cut here. I want a plank here, so let's remove this. How do I do that? Yes, to loop select, I hold down the Alt key and left click something, and I will select the loop here. I can select all sorts of loops. Let's go into wireframe mode. You can see it a little bit clearer. I can select these. Now I want to select this, and I press X and dissolve edges. Alt left click, X, dissolve edges. Now I have one cut here and one cut here. Why do I want these cuts up here? Well, it's very good to have all quads. It's not strictly necessary, and in fact we have one non-quad here and one non-quad here, but I think all the rest is quads. So let's keep these. So I select these and I G, Y, but I want a little bit of extra geometry around here. So I select these two, I select one of them, and I Shift Alt for the other, and I bevel them. If you bevel a straight face, it will just add more geometry. So 0.25 is probably good. And because I did it along the whole edge, everything here is still quads. So I select this and this, GY. Now they are shaping up to planks. 0.5. Tab out of edit mode. Yeah. This doesn't look good. What I have to do here, if I move, it will move the bottom vertex as well. So I have to go to vertex selection mode, press this one and shift click that one. I go to edge view, side view. We can see here, this is the cut between the planks. So I want to move this down. That's the Z axis, GZ, and something like that. Very good. Let's do the same thing here. Control R to do the loop cut. Scroll up once to get 2. Go to edge selection mode and Alt left click here. X for delete, dissolve. Now we have one plank here, one here, and one here. So, but we want these extra cuts here. So let's Alt left click that one. Control B for bevel. 0.5. No, 0.25. If the bevel looks like this, remember, you can always just scroll your mouse up and down to change the number of cuts. Right now we want the middle cut only, so we should have one extra here. And just 0.25. And we select that one. GX. GX. Don't know what I pressed there. GX minus 0.5. And we have the same problem here. So we select that one. And now we go into front view. And GZ, move it down. Let's inspect the geometry here. Yeah, looks good. Now we only have this part here. And now we will actually use the knife tool again. Okay, for the knife tool, click the first vertex and click the second vertex and then space to accept the cut. Okay, first, second, space. Okay, first, second, space. If we view it from the sides, we see that they are not perfectly vertical. So we can actually go into wireframe mode, drag a box around these. Now only these are selected and we do GY. Sorry about the cut. That looks good. Now we can go into edge select mode, GX minus 0.5. Yeah. So let's select the top edge here because there's the same problem. Now we have to actually look at it from a little bit inside and all around because it's not so easy to see when this looks good. But if we tab out of edit mode. In object mode, it looks good. Now we have planks all around our chest. Fantastic. So we're getting ready to export this. So let's check if it's solid. This is the 3D print toolbox. Press solid. We actually have 61 non-manifold edges. We can press this in edit mode and see what exactly is the problem. So the 3D printing toolbox doesn't recognize the mirror modifier. We must apply the modifier. What does that mean? Right, as long as we can see the modifier here, it's non-destructive. Meaning I can delete it, I can edit it, add it again, can turn on clipping, can change. Oh, that looks weird, but we don't want to mirror it along the Z. We want to mirror it along the X and Y. But no matter what we do here, we don't affect the geometry here. And to apply the modifier, we can use this drop-down menu and select apply, or with the mouse hovering here, press Ctrl A, as seen in the drop-down here. So let's apply this modifier. And now it's gone. It means it's applied. It's final. Can't be changed anymore. And now in edit mode, we can make a change to one corner and not having it mirrored to the other. Let's do that solid test again. Now, this is manifold. Do we have any intersections? 0 also. Fantastic. Very good. So we can export this for print. File, export, STL. Press selection only. There we have it. A little bit more about the modifiers. There are many modifiers. I can just select a few here, add them. Smooth, that doesn't do that much, but if I increase this repeat value, see, smooth is like a blur tool. If you want smoothing the object, like sanding it with sandpaper, making it less sharp and more rounded. But where did our chest go? If we tab into edit mode, we can see that we still have the exact same geometry as before. So, like with the mirror modifier before, these are non-destructive until we either remove them or apply them. But let's remove these. That's all for this lesson. Next lesson we're going to add rivets using booleans. See you then. Bye.